everybody. Long time no see. I didn't get to you in April, so I'm gonna have to do 2 in May, and it's already halfway through. But I was training like crazy and couldn't seem to find my time to do all the important things outside of training. Anyhow, here I am. Welcome back to doula school. I want to talk about something really near and dear to my heart. In fact, I'm surprised I've never talked about it before on here, is becoming a childbirth educator. I became a childbirth educator before I became a doula. In fact, I started teaching classes and then people started saying like, hey, will you join us for our birth? We're really nervous. And I'd say, yeah, that's going to make me a better teacher, of course. And I did that for a whole lot of time before I realized I was doing this thing called doula. And I can't imagine doing the reverse order, which of course is what most people do. Most people become doulas, and then some point down the road, maybe they add on childbirth educator to their roles. And it doesn't really matter, which direction it happens, but I couldn't imagine not being a doula with all my childbirth educator knowledge and that scope of practice that would allow me to meet with people in my prenatal classes and be able to spend more time with them and, give more education and all of that. So here's what I want to talk about today: becoming a childbirth educator. Some of you probably know that I run a Lamaze program. Lamaze was the first certifying organization for childbirth educators, childbirth education. And a lot of people aren't really familiar with what Lamaze means. Depending on how old you are, you might think of it as breathing techniques, and especially in the old movies and videos, you used to kind of see this like kind of breath, and that's long gone. That's not something that we still teach, and Lamaze is not about breathing. All childbirth education should be about breathing in some way, because we know that breath can play an important role in human body's ability to relax. But Lamaze childbirth education is really about evidence-based, fun prenatal classes. And that fun part, I think, is really important. We know that in the last few decades, the percentage of people taking prenatal classes has been declining. And the main reason for that is they go to not all hospital classes are bad, but often they go to hospital classes which are very lecture-based and that give the information that the hospital wants them to learn in some areas. And people come away thinking, either feeling more nervous and afraid or bored. And they tell people, oh, I went to my classes, they were so boring. Don't bother wasting your time with childbirth education or prenatal classes. And I think that is so unfortunate, because there is so much to learn. And there's a way for us to convey that information that people actually can embody the knowledge. When people say, I took classes, but when I went into labor, everything went out the window. What does that mean? It means that the memorization of content disappeared when they were in the sort of emotional throes and physical throes of labor. But what if we taught childbirth education in a way that was embodied, where people acquired knowledge and information in a way that it now became part of what they know, not something they're remembering, right? Well, for me, that's what Lamaze is. Lamaze is a way to teach with an emphasis on, yes, evidence-based is important, but it has to be fun. It has to be actionable. It has to be something that doesn't go out the window when people go into labor. Now, lots of different types of childbirth education classes, and only you know the type of doula you are and which type of childbirth education is going to be right for you to teach. But even if you don't envision yourself teaching groups of pregnant families, and maybe you feel a little bit nervous doing public speaking, it doesn't have to be like that. There are a lot of really wonderful childbirth educators who have made really brilliant careers teaching private classes, teaching families one-on-one. And wouldn't that be an amazing addition as a doula for you to be able to teach a family childbirth education who maybe can't afford or doesn't want to hire a doula to be there with them at the actual labor? It's a way that you can help people prepare and help people feel empowered without the commitment of being a doula. And maybe you're a doula who says, I need a little bit of a break. I don't want to be on call quite so much. What else can I do? And there's a million other things that you can do out there. I see you all on Instagram. I see what you're up to and what you're doing. And you folks are creative. You got a lot of really good ideas. I see you selling things. It's amazing. And for many of you, I think childbirth education can be a really beautiful addition to that, to share that wonderful knowledge and wisdom that you possess. So whether you decide to come and take a training with us or in our Lamaze program or another program or something completely different, I want to really encourage you to think about how it might benefit you to be able to teach prenatal classes, being able to add on to your doula packages and be able to give childbirth education, right? And have some more knowledge, spend more time with them. I loved it when I would spend 6-week series with families in my group prenatal classes and then be their doula. And I'd still get to spend a couple of classes with them or sort of prenatal visits with them privately. It was amazing to be able to have spent so many nights or days or weekends or whatever it is, spending time getting to know what really matters to them and what comfort measures really work for them, you know? So as a doula, I really appreciated that. I will say that the other thing is I often didn't, in my early years, I didn't market my doula services very much because I taught a lot. And I would have people from every class that once meeting me, maybe hiring a doula wasn't even on their radar. But after spending 6 weeks with me or a weekend with me, they realized they wanted to have me as their doula. And so my marketing costs went down significantly on the doula side. But more importantly, I think, is just that ability to spread more knowledge and more information. And as you know, birth workers, we want to be able to help parents feel really prepared for their birth. And you know, even if you're a postpartum doula and you're thinking, hey, the birth side's kind of not my area, you know, of focus, wouldn't it be amazing to be able to prepare families for their birth and then to join them in that postpartum experience and be their postpartum doula? For me, I think childbirth education is kind of the glue that holds everything together, pulls everything together. Again, you can make your services really affordable, either by making group services available, makes it cheaper per person, doing things virtually now. The virtual space, people are just so much more used to the virtual space. You know, we've got class running right now, prenatal class that's just full of amazing, beautiful pregnant people who are coming to learn more. And we get to do that from the comfort of our own home. And we've gotten pretty darn good at making classes fun, even in the virtual space. So I think that this is a wonderful program if you just want to make your prenatals more fun with your doula clients, and maybe to consider, you know, teaching prenatal classes at some point, either group or private classes. All in all, the program, you know, start to finish, all your exam, your learning guide, and your seminar, you're talking about $1,000. I mean, I made that up in the very first series I ever taught, if you can imagine. All the money I spent on all my charts and all my training and all my course in the very first series that I taught. I had, I don't know, maybe like 8 couples or something in there. So I think it's a really affordable addition to something that can be really, really usable in your practice. But of course, we always make payment plans available for people and we have scholarships available as well. So anyhow, didn't want to do this big whole pitch about our program, but I do want you to consider if that might be a good move for you. There are amazing programs out there with a lot of different focuses. And so I encourage you to think about that as a doula. Is this maybe the year for you to consider becoming a childbirth educator? Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.